Michelle Buteau is making comedy history on Netflix. It only took her 23 years. In 2013, Michelle Buteau laid out a 5-year plan for herself: have 2 kids, her own TV show, and a backyard in Brooklyn for composting. Although she now lives in the Bronx, the survival of the thickest star has since manifested all of those things and much more, including Netflix comedy special, Michelle Buteau, a Beautiful Mind at Radio City Music Hall, now streaming. Look at that. I'm doing it, Buteau says with a grin. Composting is actually the hardest of all of that. I'm still figuring out what to do with eggshells and I don't like fruit flies. I didn't even realize I was manifesting, but it's nice to be passionate about stuff. You don't even have to be positive all the time, but just like something or someone, maybe yourself. Beautiful Mind is the piece de resistance after the slow simmer of Buteau's career. For nearly 2 decades, she hustled on the New York stand-up circuit, playing to rooms of just a few dozen people at venues such as Union Hall, Littlefield and the Slipper Room. You don't get to Radio City without hours and hours of Slipper Room experience, she says. The love you have for those 30 people is the same love that translates to those 6,000. But you also have to advocate for yourself and other people. When I was doing bar shows, I could barely get a drink ticket. Now, I'm like, this is what I need, and this is how I want people to feel. Like 2020's Welcome to Beautotopia, her latest special Minds laughs from marriage, motherhood and marijuana. But Buteau also imbues her jokes with an ethos of inclusivity, as she declares her wish for everyone to feel safe, secure, and entertained through her comedy. At one point, she smartly eviscerates comedian Dave Chappelle, who has doubled down on homophobic and transphobic rhetoric in recent years. I'm not saying you can't say things, I'm just saying, can you make it funny? Because it doesn't feel funny, Buteau says. You're hurting people and you're making it dangerous. And it's not just Chappelle, it's part of the culture that I don't understand. When people say, we can't do what we used to do. Yeah, slavery used to be legal, you guys. Sometimes we've got to move forward, and I'm sorry if it's different, but wrap your little mind around it. Born in New Jersey to Caribbean parents, Buteau didn't grow up with comedy ambitions. Instead, she aspired to be an entertainment journalist, and started her career as a news producer for NBC in New York. For a while, co-workers were like, "You're so funny. You should do stand-up," Buteau recalls. "I've always said I was too cute for an edit bay. A black person with freckles. Are you kidding? Give me a window." Going into the new year, Buteau wants to manifest more money, more projects, and more possibilities for her 5-year-old twins, Hazel and Otis, whom she welcomed via surrogate in 2019. "I want the world for them," she says. "I want them to know that they're never losing, only learning." She credits her husband of 14 years, photographer Jace Van Der Most, for pushing her to expect more for herself. "It's so corny, but he made me feel like anything was possible," Buteau says. "My life changed when I had someone who truly understood me and what I could do. And the older I get, I just want to know that I've done everything I could to make me happy. I'm looking around at people like, why are we settling for anything? Don't do that. Unless it's airplane food. Then you don't have a choice."